Welcome to the 2010 Winter Warm-Up Lead Card footage with special guest commentary by Eric McCabe and Liz Lopez. The competitors for this event are Coda Hatfield, Sean Worley, Dixon Jowers, David Hemmeline, and Miles Seaborn. It was a cool afternoon in Lewisville, Texas, and our results after round one has Coda and Miles Seaborn tied for first, while Dixon, Sean, and David tied for second place. All the guys giving their handshake before the round two starts. First up is Coda Hatfield. Eric and Liz, why don't you tell us a little bit about hole one?
Hole one down here, it's not too far of a shot, a little downhill. A lot of people choose to throw putters or mid-ranges, buzzes, and rocks on the hole.
Yeah, pretty basic shot. Nothing too difficult here, just nice and easy down the gut. Pretty wide tunnel.
Miles Seaborn up here. Looks like a buzz. Oh, looks like he turned it a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he landed behind that bush. Not really a favorable spot here.
Dixon Jowers. Nice little shot, nice skip up there. That's going to give him a good look at a putt for two.
Yeah, there's a lot of sand in this fairway as well, and that helps your disc slow down, you know, if they're coming in too hot.
Thumber, this is not a shot I've seen too often on this hole here.
No, not really. I think a lot of the players that have that shot definitely have an advantage on some of the holes on this course.
Absolutely.
Especially when the trees are bare at this time of year.
Yeah, it is wintertime out here, so these trees don't have any leaves on them at all right now. Gaps are a lot bigger right about now. Alright, Sean Worley lining up his putt. Looks like he might have a tree in the way. You're going to have to straddle around it. Just a little short.
Little low. Miles Seaborn behind the bush here.
I've been over there before. There is a little bit of a window there, so he may actually have a look at this basket.
Wow, looked like a spit there.
Looked like a pretty good putt coming out.
Couldn't tell from this angle. He might have hit a little too right, but looked like a spit.
And good. Coda's one of the best putters around when he's on.
Definitely.
And you're going to see some good putts from him today, probably.
David Hemmeline for two.
And
nice.
Good putt. Dixon Jowers with his pretty good drive right there. Should be a pretty routine putt for him. And it's good.
Very nice.
Sean taps in his three.
Cleaning up. Pars aren't an awful score on this hole, but it's definitely one of those birdies that you want to get on this course.
All right, we're underway. Eric and Liz, we're going to move on to hole two, which is at 252 feet. With this being a blind shot, what choices do you have?
A few different options you can throw here, especially in the wintertime. Looks like Coda's throwing the thumber over the top.
There's also that hyzer line on the right side that I've seen you throw a few times.
Yep.
It's a great shot. I don't know how well it would work come springtime.
Coda's shot looked like it went a little right. There's the hyzer line you were talking about.
There it is right there.
Caught
Looks
a
like
tree.
we got caught up too. A lot of little branches that can snag your discs up top.
Yeah. Hemmeline, the lefty on the card. It's a pretty wide open lefty hyzer up over the top.
Looks like...
Looks like it came in, not too bad.
No, a little left maybe, but should be there for a putt.
Now here's a shot not too many people have in their bag, the Scooby or grenade, as a lot of people call it.
Miles tends to throw this shot a lot.
Yes, he does. He's pretty good at it, pretty accurate. If he gets it online, that looks like it's online pretty good.
Yep, that
Oh
should
yeah,
have dropped
that should be right there.
right next to the basket.
And Worley throws a thumb or two. You didn't see anybody on this card throw the straight route, which is a pretty good shot on this as well.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I mean, I would think that's
where it
the
hit?
most obvious shot that you want to take, but these guys would know more than me, I guess.
Dixon lining up his putt. Looks like about a 45, 50-footer.
I always thought it was interesting that Dixon has to hold a towel in his left hand while he putts.
Yeah, and when he drives as well.
Coda looked like he got caught up behind some trees.
Looks like the wind maybe pushed it a little bit to the right here, but it looks like he might have a line at this basket. Wow.
Whoa,
Great
nice putt. That didn't really look like a putter. I think I saw it said rock on that disc.
Yeah, it might have been a headwind. He might have needed it to go left a little bit more. But that was a great shot.
Looks like it worked.
Great putt. He's on a roll right now. I got the first two. In the line.
Easy pickings. Nice putt.
And Dixon gonna tap in for his three. Looks like everyone's gonna get a deuce except Dixon.
That's technically what it is.
Yep, Miles Seaborn landed right on it, just like...
That had to be pretty close to going in, I think.
Scooby is where you take the disc. I'm thinking about.
I put a Mako in the water yesterday.
See what I mean? Just smash it around that tree.
So the big one? Are you going in front of that or behind it?
Big one.
Go up and over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
I don't know. Yeah. How far is that tree?
I don't know.
200? And you got to be 50 high? Higher than around?
I probably won't. But I'll still throw over here.
Well, I have a Mako sitting 10 feet out in the water. I threw it. And just the tail. Well, yesterday was a tailwind though.
Yeah.
So it made it stable.
A little bit of strategic planning from Miles and Dixon as we go into hole 3 at 311 feet.
Coda throws yet another thumber on this shot. This is a really tough hole. It's not as bad right now in the wintertime, but when it's cold, or when it's cold out, the trees are all bare, so you've got that big anhyzer over the top over the water, but you know, when the summertime kicks in and there's leaves on the trees, there's not much of a route that way.
Yeah, this is a pretty scary shot. Water definitely comes into play here, especially if you don't get that disc turned enough. It'll come out right in the middle of that lake.
Yeah, that was definitely safe.
Ooh, looks like that might be Coda's there. OB. Oh no, that's a
That
buzz.
looks like a close
That
call.
looks
No, yeah, definitely not Coda.
not Coda.
That must be
Miles.
or Sean. Not sure. It was Miles. Assuming they called that safe.
Looks like they might have called him safe because there is a drop zone on this hole. It's a pretty unique green.
Really rocky. You know, if you don't hit just right, you can get a nasty roll into that water. Oh, looks like he might have just got a roll right there. Nope.
Nope, it stayed right there.
Saved by the tree trunk.
Hemmeline for his two.
Looks like he missed a little deep.
And Coda's thumber ended up pretty good, actually. Stayed up on top there. Not an easy task to accomplish.
Nope.
Nice putt.
Nice putt, Coda. Looks like he's on a roll.
Looks like he's in the zone right now.
Definitely a good start here.
And great putt by Dixon.
I think that was a safe 3 on this hole. Not sure where his drive landed.
Sean Worley.
Nice putt by
tapping it.
Sean.
Nice.
He's definitely kind of coming up.
Up and
I know he was
comer.
an AM player last year. He did pretty well at the Bob Robertson Memorial last year.
All right, Liz and Eric, we're going to move on to hole number 4, which is 339 feet. And looks like Coda is pulling himself out with a nice lead.
This is a really tough hole, actually. Looks like Coda's throwing the big hyzer, which is a very tough shot on this hole. It's really not the way you want to go, I think.
It is definitely not the preferred route, and I've only seen it work maybe a couple times. Very risky shot by Coda.
Yeah, a lot of people like to throw something that'll turn over if it's a right-handed player, or a good sidearm shot.
It's a fast green up here, so if you have that sidearm, it'll definitely help you skip up to the basket more.
Kind of threw that into the ground, but he should have a pretty good look at par.
Once you get past that little clearing of trees, you should have a pretty easy upshot from there.
Looks like Dixon's going for hyzer too. Ooh, that's not bad. That's really good. It stayed up on top.
That worked for Dixon. I haven't seen that shot work for many people, so definitely good job. Should be a fairly easy shot here for the lefty.
Yep, should be a pretty routine shot for Hemmeline. Just inside that tree, coming in.
Oh, that would have gave him a pretty good skip up to that basket.
Instead, I think he may have to settle for the par.
Looks like Miles is taking the hyzer route too.
Must be some pretty good wind moving right to left on this hole. Otherwise, these guys would not be throwing the hyzer out. Miles known for throwing power hyzers. If there's a line there, he's gonna take it. That looked like it hit early and
got
kicked
caught
down.
up in some trees. Yeah, that's definitely a downside of trying to throw that route. You get caught up in those trees, it is not an easy upshot.
Oh man. Dang.
Sean Worley, a little.
Ooh, might be a little long. There's a hill back there.
See
Looks
what
like Miles.
Miles can pull off right here.
It's not going to be an easy shot through these woods, I don't think.
Lots of little vines to get tangled up on.
It's a pretty challenging hole. What do you throw in this hole, Liz?
I usually throw something straight that'll turn a little bit to the right. Usually a ZXL is what I like to throw on this hole.
It's a good choice.
Little
Looks like-
sidearm,
Yeah,
maybe?
looks like he might be sidearm or...
Maybe a thumber.
I think at this point he's probably just trying to get out and get up there somewhere close for a putt. Try to save the 3. Well, he's
Not sure what he's going to do here. Maybe second guessing that sidearm.
should always go with your first instinct.
Ooh, a little deep there. That'll
Should
be
have a putt. Should have a look at it, but yeah, depends on how far down that hill it did
A lot
roll.
of bushes down that hill too.
Coda stretching out. He got the first 3, so he's probably just going to try to lay this under the basket, which he did.
Hemmeline for 2.
Gave that kind of a decent little run, and it didn't go too far past.
Yeah,
so.
you don't want to be too aggressive on this putt, especially from this angle. You don't want to risk rolling down that hill.
Dixon giving it a run, kind of high left. Miles Seaborn.
Yeah, looks like his shot ended up a little far
down that
past the
hill.
basket. See if he can save his 3 here.
Great
Great
putt.
save by Miles.
It's a really good 3 from where he was. Looks like 3s around, maybe?
It was actually 3s all around except for Sean, who got a 4 in that hole, as we move on to hole 5 at 312 feet.
This is a really difficult hole here. It's not that far, but the shot selections, there's really only a couple ways you can get to this green.
Yeah, if you don't have that big over-the-top hyzer, it's a pretty tough hole. Usually you try to hit a low gap and hope it can skip you up there for a decent upshot.
I think all these guys are going to be going over the top here, especially in the wintertime when there's not as many leaves. You can get through a lot easier.
This course definitely plays at least a few strokes easier this time of year without all the trees and opens up a lot more lines.
This has got to be a tough hole for Hemmeline here. It's more of a staller shot for a right-handed player over the top and let it crash the tree.
This should be a pretty routine shot for Miles.
Looks like he's throwing his Z-force. Not too bad. It depends on what it did after it hit that tree up there. It could kick him close, or it could kick him way away as well. So.
Or it could be stuck up in the tree. It's really hard sometimes to find your discs on this hole.
And let's see what we got. Looks like Dixon will be away.
Yeah, I guess he didn't stall off too much.
Good little shot up there just to get his 3 and go on to the next hole. There's really not too much of a putt from left of the basket. There's all these little trees and a couple little cedar trees that are really in the way.
There's a pretty good score on this hole. Birdies don't come too often. You'd have to have a really dead-on shot for that too.
Or get a little lucky too. Good bid by Miles, not bad. Hemmeline ended up in a decent spot for the lefty. Looks like a little Anheuser putt.
Little low.
Coda's going to have a look here at this time of year, but like we said, in the middle of summertime, this putt here goes from a look at it to just tossing it out, hopefully getting a look for your par. Just low.
And Sean gets his birdie for hole 5. And everybody else rounds out at par on hole 5, and we move on to hole 6 at 408 feet. Coda's still in the lead with 1 stroke over David Hemmeline.
Hole 6 here is it's probably one of my favorite holes on the course. It's not a very difficult hole. It's just pretty straight. A lot of people throw, I've seen anywhere from T-birds to XLs, shots like that.
Yeah, you just want to throw something that'll go pretty straight and maybe turn a little left at the end.
The green on this hole is really cool. It sets up on some railroad ties. It's kind of elevated a little bit.
There's a few trees you have to miss off the fairway, but other than that, it's pretty basic hole.
That looks like a pretty good shot. Probably skipped right up to those railroad ties. There's not much of a hyzer line here for Miles, which is his strong point. So I'm sure he's going to be throwing like a tracker hyzer flip-up shot here.
I think that's a tracker. I recognize that die on his frisbee.
That looks pretty good. That should give him a look at it.
See where they ended up.
Looks like Coda is away. Looks like he might have
He
come up a little short.
He probably got caught up on a tree or something.
Stay on top.
That's a great shot to land up on top of that from there.
Yeah, if you land and hit those railroad ties, you can get a nasty roll.
Looks like Miles may have got caught up a little bit on the left side, but let's see what he's got from here. Oh, high left. Dixon for his 2.
Ooh, little right. Sean Worley for 2.
Worley
Great
showing him how to get
cut.
it done. Nice work.
Really surprised these guys didn't get a little further up on this hole.
Hemmeline putting for his deuce as well.
Looks like he went a little deep on the drive, but not too far past.
Ah,
Oh. That would have been a great opportunity to make up some strokes on these guys.
especially with the rest of this course, it doesn't get much easier for the lefty.
Clean it up for 3.
Oh, sorry, Coda.
And Coda taps in, so.
Eric and Liz, we move on to hole 7 at 324 feet. A very unique hole as it sits right up on the shore.
Sean Worley taking the box with the lone deuce.
That's got to feel good.
That's going to putt. This
Looks
isn't
like-
that bad of a hole this time of year again. A lot of people just opt to throw the big hyzer over the water and let the wind bring it in.
Big hyzer by Coda. Very good spot to land right there. That should be an easy 2 for him.
Dixon throwing another hyzer as well.
Looks like he landed pretty close.
Flibbity-dibbity.
You don't want to swing it out too far here. The wind can definitely carry your disc or slam it into that water.
Tough hole for Hemi. Looks like he might be going over the water as well. Big
Is
Anheuser.
there a drop zone on this hole?
Yes, there is a drop zone.
Is the drop zone if you land in the water?
That is correct.
Okay. I can see it painted now. Looks like he didn't get that turned enough. We'll see if that's safe.
Doesn't look too happy about it, but Miles, of course, going to throw the big hyzer. Looks like he's got a Predator out.
Yeah, I believe that's his Flex Predator. Good plastic for this time of year. Very durable, and it's not as stiff as other discs might get in cold weather.
Big spike hyzer. That's caught the tree a little bit early, and it's rolling back. Oh,
I'd say
if it
that
sits
might have
down.
that might have actually been a favorable roll. There's some trees back there. Oh yeah, it looks like Hemi got wet right here. Hemi from the drop zone.
Ah, good bid. A little long maybe, but should be able to tap in for his bogey.
Do you feel like the drop zone gives the advantage of the player because it's a pretty wide open shot?
Yeah, and it's also uphill, so and there's some bushes behind it, so you can give it a pretty good run.
It looks like he got, since it was turning over the land into the water, it looks like he could have had a good bid for a circle 3 if he was able to play from his disc, from
Yep.
where it went in, but drop zone might have been a disadvantage for Hemi on this shot.
As Miles misses high.
Dixon behind a bush. Should be an open straddle putt.
Yeah, around this green, there's a lot of little bushes that could really be in the way of your putt.
A lot of little vines. Those can get annoying. Dixon misses
just
low. A lot of missed opportunities here.
Let's see if Worley can take advantage and get another birdie on the group. Oh, left side.
Chains out.
Looks like Coda's going to get a tap in two here for him. A tap in for Coda at
Very
least.
routine putt here.
Moving on to hole number 8. At 415 feet, Coda in the lead with a 2-stroke lead over Sean.
Hole 8's a pretty easy hole for this group of guys at least. Typically, some of them are going to be throwing putters and some are going to be throwing rocks. And
Yeah, this is a pretty short hole. You just kind of want to miss this one tree on the right side of the fairway. If you come just in front or just behind it, you should have a pretty good look at 2.
that came in just a little short.
A little too tight there. If you don't follow through enough, you can get caught up on some bushes on this hole.
And Dixon, hoping it
Looks like a
skips
great
just
shot.
a little. Oh, and he's got rejected by the railroad ties. Still pretty good look at a birdie, though.
Miles Seaborn looks like another hyzer here. He went around the tree. Looks pretty good. Just in front of that bush. That'll give him a good look at 2.
Another tough hole for Hemi.
Interesting to see what he does on this hole. Nice little turnover.
Pretty good shot there. It looks like he might even have CTP.
Looks like Sean Worley is a little short.
Let's see what kind of run he can give this putt.
Jump putt. Oh, just a little short.
He might not have had a look at that. He might have just been trying to get it up close.
Looks like Coda's drive ended up a little short.
Nice putt by Coda.
Dixon Jowers for 2.
Good putt. Miles, now do you think that next tee sign is in his way at all?
It's definitely going to be in his head, I'm sure, but it shouldn't really affect the putt. Oh, maybe
Miles,
got in
that's-
his head. I'm sure it's definitely something that he was thinking about.
Probably why he missed it low. Hemmeline taps in for his deuce.
I'm sure he's not happy about that one.
This is probably the most difficult hole on the course right here.
It's definitely the hardest 2 to get, in my opinion. A lot of trees in the fairway. Potential to go a B right in the
Like
on
that
the
shot
road,
almost.
just like Dixon. Looks like he's pretty close to being open.
Coda was quick off the drive, so we didn't get a chance to see the scores. Right now, Coda's still in the lead with 2. We're at hole 9.
This is probably another tough hole for Hemmeline, I'd say. It's favorable for the righty. Hyzer flip-up shot that goes straight and finishes left.
So it was interesting watching a lefty trying to get in their perspective on a course.
Absolutely. And Hemi's a great player. That's a
Very
pretty good shot
drive
right there.
by Hemi.
See what Sean Worley can do here.
Took the routine hyzer shot. Oh.
Big skip. That's
Yeah,
going to be
looks
all
like
right.
he stayed in bounds. That's good.
Miles probably throwing a Z-Force. One of those pink overstable ones.
Great drive by
That
Miles.
is a great shot right there.
Looks like that'll give him a good look at 2. See the flag blowing in the background. Looks like there's a good wind here.
Yeah, it's out at the lake, so there's always a little bit of wind out here. Looks like Dixon stayed safe. Oh, maybe not. It
Nope,
looks like he is on
that's
the other side of
OB.
that pole. That's going to be a tough call for the group. Looks like they're determining to be
Gonna
safe
go
or
off
not.
those railroad
Posts.
the posts, the wires.
Okay, that's fine. I didn't want to come look and then try to talk people into stuff. So
Looks like they called it safe.
They said it was like the center. Not even-
Nope, OB.
Looks like he was just
so
OB.
take my meter from
Remember,
the middle
part of the
post,
disc
okay?
has to be touching inbounds.
Looks like he still might be debating that call.
I think he
Nope.
might be trying to get on a lie of where it actually went out.
Yep, asking the group where a good spot would be.
Tough break for Dixon.
Very close. It was a very close shot.
Now he's got this, the bathrooms, you know, in his head on his backswing, and he's got a couple trees to navigate through, trying to get up and down for his bogey.
Yeah, it'll be a tricky shot for sure, but Dixon's a pretty good upshotter, so he shouldn't have too much problem here.
I'm guessing he's probably going to take the hyzer line here.
Looks like he's throwing a rock, one of his favorite discs.
Skips up.
Yep,
Great
nice
shot.
and easy. Sean Worley, he's been doing pretty good so far. Doesn't seem like that lead card pressure's getting to him much.
Oh, that's a pretty good run. Pretty
Yeah,
good
it's a
little
great
bid.
bid there. Coda running at it for 2. Great bid.
Hemmeline with a great drive. Hyzer in, just around the backside. Miles
Miles
really needs to
Seaborn.
put this one in after missing that short putt on the last hole.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going through his head as well.
Take advantage and get that stroke back.
See if he can do it. Oh, Miles.
Bless!
Just a little right.
He is not going to be happy about that.
Sean Worley for 3. Looks like Miles might be out again, but just gonna let Coda tap in. He does not look happy back there. Dixon Jowers for his 4 save.
Circle 4. And Miles for his 3. Unfortunate 3 there for him.
Yeah, after a great drive.
Eric and Liz, let's take a quick break to look at our front 9 results. Coda Hatfield's in the lead by 4 strokes. Sean Worley is behind Miles by 1, and David and Dixon are tied. Now, these results do include scores from round 1. When you have a chance, please go to CoolDaddySlickBreeze.com and check out the other DVDs I have available for order. Time now for hole number 10 at 318 feet, one of the shorter holes here.
Hole 10, little, for these guys, well, with the exception of Hemmeline, most of these guys are going to be throwing little hyzer skip shots, I believe, around the corner.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you get a right of that Mando right there, that tree.
Yeah, I think the Mando's there, so they don't have people throwing over the street. I'm sure Hemi would like to see they're not a Mando so he could throw the hyzer as well. But
Yeah, that'd be a nice wide open shot for Hemi.
Hemi throws a sidearm.
Not a shot you often see by this guy.
Oh, and that was going to be a great shot. What a good looking sidearm, and a little unfortunate hit off that tree.
Sean Worley taking the skip hyzer route.
All you really got to do is miss that one tree up there that Hemmeline hit.
It's a pretty fast green up here. If you can get your disc to skip at the right angle, you can really go far here.
Miles really needs to get this one, I think.
Clear his head a little bit and just try to move on from those missed putts.
A little wide, but yeah, I think that was that flex predator again.
Yeah,
It didn't
that-
skip
That was
too
gonna go,
much.
didn't
I'm
it?
surprised he didn't choose to throw like a Z-force or something.
Didn't look like he got it on the right angle either. Landed a little too flat. Dixon, that looks like a good angle. Nice big skip there. That should give him a decent look
Oh
at
yeah,
two.
skip, skip, roll. Should be pretty close to the basket.
Yep, looks like a great shot by Dixon.
And there is OB on this hole as well to the left of the pin. Probably about 35, 40 feet.
Looks like Miles is out. See if he can get a good run at this.
Something's distracting him over there.
I don't know, might be that camera guy.
Oh,
Oh!
great run, Miles. Good run.
That'd have been very helpful for Miles. Looks
Yeah.
like he's got a pretty good look at the basket after that hit off the tree. Hemmeline for two.
Oh. Chains.
Look
Would have
at
been a
the
great deuce
chains.
for the lefty on this difficult lefty hole. Coda, looks like that tree's right in front of him, but I'm guessing it's not going to affect him at all.
Yeah, and this little Annie putt around the tree.
He's been playing pretty solid today, hitting some good putts, and just seems to be in his zone.
Oh, a little
Just
too
high.
high. Sean Worley. Oh, off the top.
No,
That would have been it's another missed opportunity for Sean after a great drive. This should be a pretty routine putt for Coda.
looks like Dixon is underneath the basket on his drive. All these guys' second shots are still outside his first one. Great drive by Dixon.
Gave him an opportunity to take back that stroke he lost on the last hole after going OB. Good job, Dixon. Tapping in for three.
We are now at hole 11 at 411 feet, and Coda Hatfield still in the lead, 2 strokes over Sean Worley.
This is another pretty difficult hole. Not as far as distance, but as far as trees and OB and skips and how fast the green is. Coda probably throwing a T-bird.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of trees blocking this basket. You have to get it nice and wide and just hope the disc skips in, but not too much because you want to go past that wire, OB. Another interesting shot here for David.
The good thing for David on this hole is the OB, if his disc hyzers out, he is less likely to skip OB. Low.
Looks like a
burner.
little too low.
Yeah, it is.
Right into the ground.
Not going to be happy with that. That's going to be
Not
a
going to
pretty
be an
tough
easy
upshot.
upshot with all those trees in the way. Let's see what Sean can do. Looks like a pretty good angle there. You can just miss those trees and give him a good skip.
Great skip. Good shot.
Yeah, very nice shot.
Miles, that looks like a tracker almost, I think.
Looks like that might have been a little too high. Yep, knocked down by some trees. That should still be a nice and easy upshot from there.
This is Hemmeline's look. Has a little bit of a line there, maybe moving from right to left, but looks like he might be trying to go over the top of these trees. That's a pretty difficult shot.
I wouldn't think that would be a preferred route. Not
Throws it.
sure. Is the 2-meter rule in effect at this tournament?
Most of
You got that.
the Double D events, the 2-meter rule is not in effect, so I would guess that it's not in effect today. Miles
Nice
gave that a
bid by
bit of a run,
Miles.
yeah.
By another red post. Let's see how he handles that one.
Yeah. Dixon laying up. Good shot. Hemmeline looked like he caught some tree and dropped a little early.
Trying to save 3 here. This is not really a hole that you want to lose a stroke on. Oh, just missed.
Oh, Coda almost got the deuce on the hole. It's a good run by Coda. That would have been a great 2 opportunity for him to get another stroke on these guys.
Oh, off the side.
I believe that was Sean Worley's drive as well. That would have been a great deuce for him.
That would have been a great opportunity to make up some strokes. He would have got 2 on Hemmeline on this one hole. He's not happy about that.
Miles gets his 3. And looks like everybody else is just going to tap in.
And moving on.
That's right, Liz. We're moving on to hole number 12 at 321 feet. Coda Hatfield's still in the lead by 2 strokes.
This is an interesting hole. Preferred route, I think, is just a nice little turn shot, just straight down the fairway. If you don't turn that enough, then you can hyzer off into the apartment parking lot there on the left side.
That's a pretty good shot
Nice
right
shot
there
by
Dixon.
Dixon, parked.
This is probably going to be one of those CE rocks, would be my guess from Coda.
Nice and straight disc.
Well, that's fading right. Looks like he might have caught a tree. Probably
That
has
should
a
still
has a
give him
look
a
at
good
it.
look at too. Sean Worley.
Oh, looks like he
Whoa.
kicked off a tree. Maybe went right. He's going to be over there by the
Way
previous
right
basket.
side of the basket. Should be a tricky up and down for him.
Miles.
Can't tell. Just looks like he's might try that hyzer.
Yeah, I think it might be a meteor he's throwing a hyzer flip up on, and
Oh.
that's really flippy, and it just turned right into the
Didn't
ground.
get enough air into that one.
Didn't look very confident on that shot. Hemmeline. Sit down.
Ooh, didn't follow through enough on that one. Should be a pretty routine shot for Hemmeline on this hole.
Miles. Jumps. Oh, just left. Dixon looks like he was in about the same place as Miles, maybe just a little further left.
It's a pretty fast green. I mean, if you can get a good angle, you can get a disc to skip all the way up there. Dixon for 2.
Just short.
Good run.
Hemmeline looks like he's got a straddle putt over here. But he's got a clear look at the basket at least. I know sometimes if you're right of the pin, you got a couple trees that could be blocking.
Ooh, nice bid.
See, here's one of those trees in the way right now for Coda.
Just gotta get that a little high angle. Get it to just hyzer in there.
Boom, baby.
Just
Great
like that.
putt
Nice
by
putt by
Coda.
Coda.
Hole 13 is 351 feet. Coda now pulls in the lead with a 3-stroke lead.
Coda throwing probably a skip hyzer shot into this green.
Pretty
This is-
routine hyzer. You just have that one tree in the middle of the fairway that you want to hyzer around.
You just want to make sure to go wide enough. Interested to see what old Hemmeline's going to do on this hole.
Looks like a
Dixon.
good drive by Dixon. Let's get past the tree. Nice shot. It's going to give him a great look for a 2.
Sean Worley. Throwing the hyzer skip shot as well.
That looks pretty good so far. Nice big skip.
Be a little short, I think, but I think it's still going to give him a good look at it.
Miles feeling the pressure now. He's lost a couple strokes in the last few holes. See if he can make some right here.
This is definitely one of his most accurate shots for him right here, so let's see if he can get it.
It's definitely far enough. Nice shot.
Oh yeah, great shot by Miles.
Shouldn't have any problems there.
And Hemmeline. This is a tough one for Hemi. Let's see if he can... Probably throwing a Sidewinder on a big Anheuser line would be my guess.
See if that can hold the line and just...
It's difficult for him because he can't get to skip like the other guys. Not too bad. It just a little short left, but
should give a nice
good look at
long
it.
putt. A little short there.
Sean Worley for his birdie.
Got
it. Great
Sean.
putt, Sean.
Great putt. That's got to feel good after missing that short putt a few holes back for 2.
Dixon now lining up his probably, would you say, what, 15-footer? 20
yeah,
foot?
looks about 20 feet. Nice putt.
Looks like Coda might have skipped off a little bit into the...
That's going to be
the
an
shrubs
awkward
there.
putt for him. Down on one knee.
I'm going to go ahead and say he's probably going to make this.
The way his round's been going so far, I believe that.
Oh,
it's a little high.
must have been a bit of a headwind on the shot or something to lift it up over.
He had to get it nose up from being so low to the ground, but Hemi's 3.
Coda drops in for 3, and Miles, the great drive on the hole, gonna get himself a 2.
Get a stroke back on a few of these guys.
Looks
Quarter.
like he put a quarter on top of the basket.
I'm not sure what that means, but
Yeah, Liz and Eric, while I was filming, Miles told me that he was having such a hard time getting birdies, he was having to buy his birdies. So that's why he put the quarter on there. We're on the hole 14 at 276 feet.
This hole has gotten a lot easier over the years with these trees dying, and especially this time of year, being the winter and having that big shot.
Great shot by Dixon. Yeah, I don't see too many people going through the trees. I mean, it's just such a tricky shot. I mean, if you kick off any one of those trees, you can be in the shul, and that's definitely not where you want to be. Another big hyzer here.
You never know. I mean, it's such a routine hyzer for most of these guys. You think Jeremy would ever put a Mando on this hole?
Yeah, there's been talk about putting maybe like a double Mando on the hole to force a shot down the middle, but I'm sure that wouldn't make a lot of players too happy.
Miles throwing a spike with a flex predator.
Ooh, got
short.
caught up on a tree there. Coda.
And great shot. Hemmeline, another tricky hole for the
Looks
lefty.
like he's throwing a thumber. Not sure what he's going to do.
Yeah, that's going to be a thumber coming out. See a lot of people throwing thumbers on this hole. Looks like that came up
He
short,
got caught
though.
up on that tree, too. Looks like him and Miles will have a...
tough look at 2. Here's Miles's look for 2.
Looks like he's a little awkward in that bush there. Oh, that looks low. Oh,
Ooh, and it
roll
skidded
behind
back.
a tree.
It's gonna be
That's
a little tester.
It's probably not feeling good right about now. Another shot from the knee. Oh, nice
shot,
putt.
Hemmeline.
Any
Great
putt
deuce.
from the knee in a bush.
What a great shot by Hemi.
Gotta feel good after that.
Especially getting a deuce on the really tough lefty hole. Worley just high.
See if Miles can navigate this little bush in front of him. Not happy with his lie.
He's got those long legs and long arms, though. You think he'd be able to stretch out and get a good look at it. Nice putt.
Good save by Miles. Don't want to waste that too.
Sean Worley now for his 3. And good putts. Looks like Dixon's going to be out, but not by much. Both really good drives on this hole.
Easy 2 for Dixon. Coda is dropping in for 2. Looks like he slipped a little on the tee pad.
Oh, looks like he caught the
Whoa.
wire almost, and not a bad shot
It's a
there.
little short. The road on the right definitely comes into play here if you don't turn it enough.
That's a good shot.
Skipped
by
a
Coda.
little left, but that should give him a good look at 2.
Let's take a quick look at hole 15 at 297 feet.
Another hole that's not too favorable for the lefties.
Looks
Looks like a
he's-
pretty straight shot.
Oh, clipped a tree.
Hit an early tree.
It's gonna be a tough save. Gonna be a tough
Upshot.
3.
That looked a little low. Got a good skip there.
That is the good thing about this place out here at the lake, is if you do throw low, more than likely it is gonna skip.
Yeah, once you get past those sandy holes. Miles.
Going wide, hyzer.
Wide.
Oh, and he gets
off
a
the
car
car.
and stays in
Stayed
bounds.
safe. That was a lucky shot for Miles there.
A little aggression from Miles. You think he was trying to hit a car?
Pretty sure he wasn't trying to hit the car. Maybe a little aggressive on the shot. Nice upshot by Hemmeline. Miles has to be feeling frustrated after that one. Looks like his game's kind of falling apart a little bit.
Just around the backside. Should be able to hit that putt for 3, though.
Sean Worley, a little short.
Dixon's going to have about a 25-30 footer for his birdie.
Oh, just
Great
a
line,
little
just-
too high. It's like a little bit of a tailwind. Coda for his 2.
Coda gets the deuce and yet another stroke.
Looks like he's running away with this one.
Yep, sure does. He plays really well at the lake. I know he's won a few of these in a row now. See if he can hold on. And everybody else taps
Tapping
in for their
the
3
3.
keys. Moving on to hole 16.
This next hole seems pretty routine. It's just really short, little hyzer hole, but you can get caught up on all sorts of trees here.
Yes, Liz, hole 16 is a short hole at 194 feet.
It's Dixon taking
Dixon
the...
throwing up over the top through the skylight.
I've seen a lot of players throw this line. I don't really understand why you try to throw high and possibly get caught up on some trees when there's
Yeah.
a nice, just
Pretty wide open shot down
pretty
the middle.
big tunnel. I mean, all you need is a putter or mid-range to just skip up on out there.
Great shot by Hemmy. Should be pretty routine too for him.
Looks like Sean throwing that line.
Looks like he's going up over too, doesn't it?
Yep.
See how it works?
I'm sure if that 2-meter rule were in effect, that would eliminate that shot for a lot of players.
Absolutely. I would guess Miles is going to go up over as well. And he does.
Didn't see where that landed. He might have caught up in a tree. Sean Worley for 2.
Oh,
Oh, just
man.
a little short. This is definitely one of those holes that you want to get a 2 on.
Boom.
There's Miles hitting a good putt for 2. Dixon for his 2. Great putt.
Good putt by Dixon.
And Hemmeline for his birdie. Great putt. Good deuce.
Looks like this could be the first star deuce on this card.
You know, Sean Worley missed his putt
Oh,
a
that's
little bit ago,
right.
just low, so it looks like everyone's going to birdie putt him.
2 more holes to go at hole 17, 413 feet.
Coda's looks like he's just playing the confident, safe hyzer line because he's probably got a 2 or 3 stroke lead at this point. So
Yeah, he can definitely reach this hole. There's definitely some danger on the left side of the fairway. You pass the wire OB.
and the wire goes clear behind the basket as well, about 15, 20 feet behind the basket. So
A lot of trees on the right side, so it's pretty tempting to go that Annie route on this hole, but there's also that danger of it not holding its line and coming out into the road.
finally a good hole for Hemmeline. Big hyzer for him.
Looks like he was a little short. He definitely could have reached this hole. Wide open left side there.
And I'm guessing Miles is just trying to put this as close as possible, or even maybe put it in.
Yeah, Miles has to play a little more aggressive than the rest of the group and try to make up some of those strokes that he lost. Looks like a roller
he's
by
going roller.
Miles. That's
Kind of
something
a-
I'd expect from him, but
Kind of a weird hop, too. That's going to be really short. He's not going to be happy with that. He could have thrown his mid-range shot a lot closer than that.
see what Sean Worley does here. Another roller.
Roller's really not a bad play, because if you throw a flippy enough roller, it is going to turn away up the hill, away from the OB.
That looks like it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to give him a look at deuce on this really
I've seen
tough
you
17.
throw the roller shot on this hole that's worked out a few times.
Yeah, I like the roller. Typically what I would throw on this is probably my XL, or if it's a good wind, a Z-Buzz.
Yeah, I've seen you get your buzz there a few times as well. Dixon, good run at 2.
Yeah, this is a good hole to get a good run on with the sand around the basket. Usually it's going to stop it.
Yeah, it definitely helps. You feel a little more confident running at this basket, knowing that it won't go too far past with that sand there.
Coda almost put that in.
Hemmeline for his 2. So,
A little wide.
still around the basket. Miles, looks like he had a good upshot there. Looks like everyone's gonna get an easy par on this hole. Sure, Coda's feeling pretty good about now.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got it.
And our last hole for this round is at 228 feet. Coda has a 3-stroke lead for this round.
Oh yeah, that's a great shot by Coda, laying it right up under the basket.
No pressure putt there for Coda.
Dixon,
This hole is just a nice, easy hyzer around that tree.
little skip shot, you know. There is OB left of the pin,
Yeah,
about
you don't want to throw
20
too
feet.
tight on this hole.
Hemmeline's got a little bit of a window here on the left side. It's a tough gap to hit, but
I've seen that left side gap, and I've seen some righties take that gap as well, which I don't really understand too much. When it's pretty open on the right side, looks like he'll definitely take that route, though.
looks like he's throwing a buzz.
Good choice, I would say. Nice skip right up there.
That should give him
A little
good
short,
look.
but shouldn't be too much trouble for him.
I think Miles is going to try to put this in on a big skip shot.
Not much he can do now.
Good shot. Great shot by Miles.
Yep. Sean Worley.
Played some pretty good golf today, I would say.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure being on the lead group.
Especially with guys like Coda and Miles and Dixon and Hemmeline. Guys who have been there before.
Yeah, he definitely fit in well with this group. He seemed to hold his own pretty well.
Taking the box on those couple holes. Yeah, he played pretty good. Dixon.
Oh.
Just low.
This being their last hole, you really like making your last putts because those really stick with you. Hemmeline for 2. Oh!
No, Hemmeline.
Just a little too low.
Caught that nub and jumped right out. Good finish for Dixon.
Oh.
Sean needed to look like he didn't take his time there on that
No, it looks
last
like
putt.
his putts were a little rushed. I don't know if that's his putting style or maybe he's just feeling a little nervous, but those are pretty routine putts that you want to hit.
Coda taps in.
Good job by Coda. Played some pretty good golf this weekend. Sean tapping in.
All right, Coda Hatfield, you just won the winter warm-up out here in Lewisville, Texas. From watching it, you pretty much got your lead from hole 1, and you pretty much led the whole way. But at any hole, was there any time that you thought you got a little nervous about your lead?
Yes, I did. We came up to the second hole, and Miles, who was in second place, 1 stroke behind me at the time, was parked, and I knew we were going to be tied at that point. And I was about 60 feet to the right with probably 10 trees in my way, and I elected to throw a rock putt because I needed to hyzer it in, and I did, and I made it, and that was just a big momentum swing for me, and that just boosted me right into my victory. Just kept it the whole way, and tried and true.
Now, was this your first tournament for 2010?
This is my first sanctioned tournament for
First
2010.
sanctioned tournament. Now, so it had been a while since you played in a sanctioned tournament. Do you think that affected your game at all? Obviously, you did really well, but do you think it affected your game at all?
I think it more made me want to play. Like, I've been fiending to play tournaments for like the last month. It just drive me nuts. Getting cabin fever, living in Oklahoma with ice storms and snow. It just makes it hard to get out and play. And I really like playing down here, and I was very much so looking forward to it.
All right, well, congratulations, Coda.
Thank you, Bobby.
And that's it for the lead card footage for the Winter Warm-Up 2010. Here are your final results. Coda Hatfield beats out Miles Seaborn by 4 strokes. Ron Converse gets 3rd place. Tied for 4th is Jay Reddings and Dixon Jowers. JD Ramirez and Eric McCabe tie for 6th, and Sean Worley falls down to tie 8th place with Kenneth Gilbert, and number 10 is David Hemmeline. Thanks again to Eric McCabe and Liz Lopez for helping me out with the commentary, and thank you for supporting Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.